the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, November 7th. So today we have the moon in Virgo all day. And of course, when the moon is in Virgo, we're logical, we're practical, we're taking an intellectual and analytical approach to our feelings, to our inner realm. Now, this is definitely going to put us in the mood to be fixing, repairing, solving, resolving a lot of problems, a lot of issues, a lot of blockages. We're taking a down-to-earth approach on what needs to happen, and especially being able to take the greater, grander path or plan that we may be ready to kind of jump into and breaking it down into smaller pieces. The Virgo energy focuses in on the smaller details that make up the greater, grander whole. So we may be really kind of tunnel visioned on focusing in on our habits, our behaviors, our environment, because all of those things are going to either make or break our overall success or failure on bringing new visions, new dreams, new goals into our physical realm. So there is a lot of different energy here today. And what I will say is first of all, the moon in Virgo usually kind of grounds us out. It is an earth energy that's ruled over by Mercury. So there's a lot going on in the mental plane, but we're very rooted in our physical body in our present moment, let's say. But this is also the last day that Venus is going to be in Virgo energy. So there's a little bit of an intensity that takes place when we find a planet at the end of a sign in those latter critical crisis degrees. And of course, Venus hasn't been in her strongest energy here in the Virgo energy because, of course, we have to take the intellectual, analytical approach to our heart space, to our values, to what makes us happy, to what it is that we want to build and create from here. What's making it again a little bit of an extra layer of interesting is that all the moon aspects here today, there are 7 of them, all the aspects here today are moon aspects, which means that this is a moon day. And Tuesdays are ruled over by Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire. And he is in his rulership in Scorpio energy, trying to figure out this new passion, this new desire, this new motivation, this new determination that we're building within us, awaiting and anticipating the green light go ahead to actually be able to take action and make moves. But for now, this is just an inner realm building, if you will. And having the moon, of course, our emotional state, kind of very reflective through the lens of our intellect, it is very likely that we're going to stumble across some aha moments here today, really examine the areas that we need to tackle first and foremost, to come up with a little bit more detailed of a strategy, if you will, a calculated strategy on what it is that we really need to be examining, what we have to be working on, what we have to be fixing, repairing, resolving as we move through the course of the next couple of days, again, in anticipation for that new moon in Scorpio energy. If you haven't listened to this week's Ascension forecast, I'm definitely going to recommend you do that because, again, I go on rants and tangents about the energy building and clarify a couple of things of why the energy is currently at the state in which it is. But it's a very interesting dynamic that we're going to be exploring here today, just with all the different overlapping kind of cycles that are, 1, coming to an end, and B, or 2, trying to kind of get initiated. So there's going to be all kinds of aha moments, all kinds of epiphanies pop off that is going to provide us with more clarity, with more of a path, more of a direction. So as I previously mentioned, 7 aspects here today, all 7 going to involve the moon. So the moon in Virgo is going to make a positive interaction with Mars, who again is in Scorpio energy. We love this because Virgo energy, Scorpio energy works very well together. The Virgo energy very much in the mental plane, very analytical, very intellectualized, trying to identify the problems in order to fix them, heal them, repair them, resolve them. The Scorpio energy that Mars is in is about us doing a deep dive in our own damn selves. Why do we block ourselves? Why do we self-sabotage? Where are we kind of growing? Where are we nurturing this new passion, this new perseverance, this new willpower, this new desire? There is this, I'm going to say, aggression that is needed at this particular point to kind of boss up. Stop whining, stop complaining, stop kind of flip-flopping around, stop waiting for somebody to come save you. And instead, where can you save yourself? Where can you build up the energy in which you're currently lacking? Where can you start motivating and inspiring yourself? Again, cultivating this inner energy that we know that we have to kind of grow into if we stand a chance of changing, transforming our current circumstances, our future realities. So the moon interacting with Mars in this way, it is kind of focusing in on the smaller steps that are needed, again, emotionally, to build ourselves up to a point of action. Again, Mars ready to be activated, ready to kind of take action and make moves. When gifted with the green light, go ahead to do so, because we're building in the sense of knowing what it is that we have to change, what it is that we have to transform. And the moon in Virgo definitely helping us to clearly take a look at the smaller details that are going to eventually lead up to and reveal the greater, grander plan. The moon in Virgo then going to make a not so nice interaction with the North Node in Aries energy. So this is probably not going to feel good, but it's much needed, and here's why. The North Node in Aries is the soul path that we need to get on for this next chapter, for this next mission, for our soul's potential, our soul's purpose. The moon in Virgo trying to kind of identify the problems in order to fix them, focusing in on the smaller details that are needed in order to actually launch ourselves in the right direction moving forward. Well, this is not the greatest interaction, which means that we're not seeing the growth, we're not seeing the progress. What we're doing, which is very needed, is identifying the blockage, the obstacle, the challenge, the problem. Virgo energy is here to fix, solve, heal, resolve, but what we have to do first and foremost is identify the problem. So here is where we're going to see what is preventing us from moving forward, what is preventing the growth, preventing the improvement, preventing us from getting on this new path, this new direction, and being able to actually move forward. And when we identify that, suddenly we start dissecting it, because that's what the Virgo energy does. And then we can flip the script, because again, we're sitting in a confusion, problematic type of emotional and mental state. And therefore, we have the ability to empower ourselves by flipping the script, by seeing a different path and moving forward, and essentially coming up with solutions where there's been problems. The moon in Virgo energy going to trine beautiful interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, who is retrograde in Taurus energy. So first of all, it's earth on earth action, Virgo energy, earth, Taurus energy, earth. This is what gives us our trine. Our trine is a gentle nudge in the right direction. There is growth. There is improvement. There is some sort of glimmer, twinkle, if you will, on where it is that we're making some progress. So what we love about Jupiter, first of all, he is the most beneficial planet that we can interact with, especially in a favorable aspect. Jupiter is magnifying optimism, confidence, opportunity, growth, change, transformation. And because the Virgo energy is here to kind of practically and logically kind of examine the different paths, the different opportunities, the different, I'm going to say, possibilities now available to us, this is going to illuminate and magnify where it is that we're building in our confidence, where it is that we're willing to kind of cooperate either within ourselves, where it is that we've been fighting ourselves, or cooperate with other people that maybe have been presenting roadblocks to us, or just cooperating with the energy of the cosmos as a whole. Whatever it is, there's some kind of desire forming for us to fix, to heal, to help, to repair certain situations and aspects in our lives that aren't stabilized. Earth energy needs us to stabilize, needs us to be logical and practical in our attempt to fix, to heal, to stabilize. And so there is going to be a magnification on where chaos has been kind of alive and well, because the Virgo energy needs to restore order to that. needs to get a little bit more organized, especially in our emotional realm, taking a very logical, practical, grounded approach, again, earth energy, to what it is that we can do, what we have control over, especially when it comes to the smaller, minute, finer details in life, on what it is that we can do in the here and now to start aligning with the greater, grander vision that we're definitely trying to work ourselves towards and to manifest here in our physical realm. The moon in Virgo then going to interact in a positive way with Chiron, the wounded healer, who is retrograde in Aries energy, really helping us to kind of develop this new identity, this new willpower, this new perseverance, this new independence that we're working on. The moon interacting with Chiron in this way, because it's a positive aspect, there is a lot of growth. There is some aha moments. There is an awareness on the areas that we can improve within ourselves, especially where our mental focus, where our heart space is concerned. It's the way that we're feeling about ourselves. It's the way that we're perceiving ourselves, and it's the way that we're projecting ourselves. We are growing in it. We are fixing, healing, resolving certain areas that maybe we've been hung up on, blocked upon. Again, sometimes we are our own worst enemies by what we tell ourselves or what we continuously put on ourselves as far as a false belief system goes. Because the Virgo energy is grounded and logical and practical, logical, if you will, we do have to kind of sit more in reality than in fantasy land. So, when you have a skewed perception of yourself, that is a negative fantasy land. You are imagining yourself in a diluted state, which is forming a belief about yourself, which is going to prevent you from doing the things that you want to do, especially when you're living in the higher realm of self. And so this is kind of analyzing where it is that we got to get out of our own damn way here, where it is that we're the ones slowing up the growth and the progress, and flipping the script on how it is that we're actually seeing ourselves. The moon in Virgo then going to make a not so nice aspect to Pluto. Pluto, of course, the great transformer. He's direct in Capricorn energy, helping us to boss up, to take our control back, to kind of put us in a new state of authority over our own lives, recognizing where it is that the not so nice, painful experiences in our life have been divinely scripted in order to push us into our power. That's exactly what Pluto is here to do, is to totally destroy the old version of self, the old realm, the old reality, the old structures and foundations that was built off of falsehood and delusion, in order for us to boss up and take our creative power energy back. So oftentimes you'll hear me talk about Virgo energy, Pluto energy working very well together, even in a negative aspect, such as the one that we currently have now. Because Pluto takes us in a deep dive in our psyche, because the Virgo energy kind of, dissects and analyzes the mental plane in our physical realm, we are essentially losing ourselves, giving ourselves a little bit of a permission slip, if you will, to move into that negative narrative, to be overly judgmental and highly critical of ourselves, to pick ourselves apart, to beat ourselves down, to basically destroy our mental and emotional state as far as what it is that we've, been trying to grow and heal and repair. We have to break ourselves down in order for us to get real and raw and vulnerable with building ourselves back up in a much stronger, much more aligned kind of way. So yeah, it's going to be intense. Yes, it's not going to feel so good. No, we are not feeling the high vibes and the power and the ability to transform the darkness into light, but we're going to become very aware on where these dark parts are still alive and well, still lingering, still blocking us from making that change, from making that transformation. Again, you have to identify the problem in order to fix it, to heal it, to solve it, to resolve it. So this is just part of the process of doing a deep dive in order for us to launch ourselves into a higher form of awareness, a higher form of enlightenment. The moon in Virgo, then going to make a positive interaction with Mercury in Scorpio. We love this energy. Here's why. First of all, Mercury rules over the Virgo energy that the moon is in. Mercury being in the Scorpio energy is giving us the best of both worlds. We have our intellectual logic, practicality from our mental plane. We have the emotional and intuitive insights, the psychic powers, if you will, to just know things that we don't have evidence of actually knowing. Again, Scorpio energy. So the moon being our heart space and essentially representing our unconscious selves and how it is that we've gotten to this point by seeing where it is in the past that certain situations, dialogues, and narratives have built us into this current version of self. And Mercury, ruler of the mental plane in the Scorpio energy, which is all about change and transformation by doing a deep dive into the darkest parts of our psyche in order to illuminate a new truth, a new narrative, new dialogue, new perspective. This is a positive interaction where our heart and our head are on the same page for the first time in a long time. Take a mental snapshot of it because it's not going to last long. But what is happening here is that there's a sense of truth, a sense of knowing, a sense of purpose, of mission, of passion, of potential, finally being realized, not only in our logical, practical mind state, but in our heart space as well. And this isn't just foo-foo. This isn't imagination land. This isn't fantasy land. This is logical, practical vision that we actually have the ability to bring forth in our physical reality. So this is a good vibe. We're going to, again, take a mental snapshot of this particular aha moment and epiphany of this alignment where our heart and our head are finally on the same page of what needs to be tackled, what needs to be addressed in order for the change and the transformation to fully be realized. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in Virgo, sextiling, beautiful interaction with the sun in Scorpio energy. So this is a similar vibe, except for the fact that the sun is our life force energy, shining a bright light in the Scorpio energy on where it is that a major change, a major transformation, a major metamorphosis is not only happening to our emotional realm, it's happening to our soul, to our spirit. Again, the emergence as a butterfly, when we went in as a caterpillar, that has been a whole change, a whole transformation, a whole pressurized metamorphosis that has been going on since essentially the end of June, the beginning of July. Now it's coming full circle. Now it's coming full stop. Again, we will be able to test those butterfly wings out with the new moon in Scorpio on November 13th. But this particular interaction is a beautiful one because we, in our detective hats with the Scorpio energy, and our ability to pick up on patterns and habits and behaviors and identify problems and fix and heal and resolve them in Virgo energy, what we get here is a brand new awareness. Something in our unconscious selves is coming into our conscious selves. We are aware of it. We are aware of the negative narrative. We are aware of the critically judgmental inner dialogue that we have. We are aware of the bad habits, the bad dialogue in which we are thinking and speaking and therefore manifesting our physical state of being out of. We are aware of it. And because of the Scorpio energy, we know what's got to change. We know what we got to flip the script on. We know where it is that we have to put certain belief systems, certain perspectives, certain understandings behind us in order to elevate to the next level of the vibration and frequency that the Scorpio energy is pushing us into. So this is a beautiful interaction. It is definitely revealing an aha moment that will forever change the game, the path, the direction in which we will be walking from here. And it is kind of instilling in us a little bit more power, more perseverance, more determination to examine the parts that aren't working, to flip the script and make something beautiful, something more powerful out of a lot of the painful and darker thoughts, emotions, and experiences.